Hello, welcome to my video. Recently I've been enjoying embroidery and slow stitching, and I got this book a while ago, just embroidery stitches step by step, and it has all the stitches that you need with instructions, and towards the front it's just got like a gallery of all the stitches, and I find that really useful. So currently I am working on this piece. And I like these long squarish shaped hoops rather than the round ones for when I'm doing this kind of stitching. The middle piece with the house is designed by Jessie Chorley, who is an artist based in London, and then I add all these little pieces of fabric, kind of put them underneath so that the house piece is in the middle, and I just put it on a plain white cotton, and this is the back. And I like a lot of areas on the back, like this green and the pink down here that I'm currently working on, and they obviously correspond to this pink area here and this green area, which I kind of made a circle shape. And I've just been working on this during the lime green sofa craft parties, which I host on Thursday and Saturday nights for everyone that is in the Facebook group that watches Kate at the Last Homely House. So I've basically only got this little white piece to fill in, and this pink piece over here needs to be attached, and some little pieces in this corner. I find that I'm using these pins, although I like to use wonder clips as well, because I folded in the edges, so that keeps like the bits of fabric kind of when they're not attached, I just put them kind of under this edge, and then as it attaches I can take them off. And I've done some leaves in this area, and some other little flowers, French knots, which I learnt pretty quickly and I really like them. And then on this floral piece I just kind of outline each flower as I go, and that makes a nice pattern. And then I found this heart trim, so kind of stitched with some pink thread so that you couldn't see how it was attached, and I like the yellow background. I bought a little box of fabric scraps from an Etsy shop, and there were lots of different coloured packs, and obviously I got yellow because that's my favourite colour. Everything is yellow. That's that piece. Then you have to excuse the squeaky chair. I'm really in need of upgrading it, but I only just got it a couple months ago because my previous one had been squeaky, and so I don't know, it needs tightening up underneath. But anyway, this piece that I worked on is a winter sampler from Pretty Fabric and Trims. I think she's based in, I know she's based in the UK, but I think she's probably Cornwall or somewhere, rather than London. And Sarah Edgar is the designer, and she works with her mum. And this sampler came with all the shapes were drawn onto the fabric, and then the house and this flower, this heart, this square and this rectangle, you had to applique them on and then add buttons, which she included in the kit, but I changed them for yellow ones. And this was my very first piece of embroidery about 4 or 5 weeks ago. And then you sandwich it with the batting and the creamy kind of coloured backing, and then all round each piece is like little borders, so when you quilt it you can see kind of grid on the back, and then the binding is Liberty fabric, which I attached on the back with a stitch that's visible, and attached on the front with the machine. But apart from attaching that with the machine, everything else is hand sewn. And the spring sampler is very, very nearly ready to be pre-ordered, which is exciting. We also now have this project, which is Kate's tea towel. Move you up a bit. Kate's tea towel, which is designed by her daughter Martha. And as soon as I saw it, especially because it's black and white, I thought I could embroider it. And then add some sort of backing, so that when I use it, if I do use it, then none of the stitches will come out. And I posted about that in the Facebook group, and a lot of people were inspired to do the same. So we'll each have the same design tea towel, but they'll all be different because they'll all be embroidered differently, which is exciting. And my final project that I just got in the post, I think yesterday, is this one, which I got on Etsy. It's a Samantha Claridge anything but basic embroidery sampler, and she's in the kit. You get white fabric and all the coloured threads, which are variegated, and she's also done a version with rainbow coloured fabric and white stitching, which I think is really cool. And then in the booklet, obviously it's paid for, so I can't show the whole thing, but you get the pattern, and then it tells you all the stitches as well. And then there's a booklet that's full of all the stitches. It's really cool. So this is the stitching booklet, and it's just like the books, like the one I showed at the beginning. It shows you all the stitches that you need, but obviously she's made it so that you know which one to stitch as you use her pattern. And then these are the threads that came with it. I put it on this thread organizer because they came on the little plastic thread cards you can get. But I don't really like those, so I like to organise it myself. And then I have this little box, obviously taking out the yellow ones if you like. I got this off Amazon, and it's got quite a few layers of threads. So it's got 2.5 layers of thread, and then came with a little pack of needles. Came with, oh I know, a seam ripper and some needle threaders, I believe. And then I've got some yellow buttons in here that I put in here because they were the ones, if you're part of the group you'll know that I posted about spilling all of my buttons into my tea. So those were the buttons that I rescued from that incident. And then I have this pen, which is a fabric pen, and so you can design whatever on the fabric, and then you can, I think it's washable, so when you've stitched all over, you wash the fabric and the ink will come out. And I think you can get ones where you iron the fabric so that the pen disappears. So I have quite a few needles in here because apparently you can't have too many needles. My favourite one at at the moment is the one that I've put on my table and now can't find. It's a really long needle, basically. And apparently I can't find it, but it's really long and it's got a really big eye. It was here like 5 minutes ago. This problem with craft stuff, it just disappears and then you have to order more and then the first thing reappears as soon as you've ordered another one. Does anyone else have this problem? But anyway, this is the current project and I'm just gonna stitch on this for a little while and probably put the video on time lapse so you don't have to hear me breathing or the traffic outside or anything else.